Have you ever wondered what really happens to your body when you ejaculate every day? Daily ejaculation affects millions of men around the world, but it is still shrouded in myths and misconceptions. Today, we're going to dive into the actual science behind daily ejaculation, looking at both the notable benefits and potential risks that medical experts want you to know. I've spent years researching sexual health, and what I'm about to share may completely change the way you think about this natural bodily function. Chapter 1: Benefits. When David, a 48-year-old father of two from Los Angeles, came into my office, he confessed he often felt stressed, had restless nights, and worried about his long-term health. His energy wasn't what it used to be, and small things that never bothered him before left him feeling irritable. As part of his health plan, he decided to commit to daily ejaculation. What followed was a surprising transformation, backed not only by his experience, but also by strong science. Benefit 1: Significant boost to mental health and mood regulation. The first change David noticed was in his mood. He told me, "I just feel calmer. Things that used to set me off don't bother me as much." What he was experiencing was the natural release of brain chemicals after ejaculation. When you ejaculate, your brain releases powerful chemicals that make you feel good. These include endorphins, your body's natural painkillers, and mood enhancers. You also get a boost of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, and oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which promotes bonding and relaxation. Finally, serotonin, which helps regulate mood and contributes to feelings of happiness and well-being. Dr. Helen Fisher of Rutgers University explains that this hormone release is why men like David often feel relaxed, happy, and fulfilled after orgasm. For men over 40, this is even more important as natural hormone levels begin to decline. Research in the Journal of Biological Psychology has shown that sexual activity can be a better stress reliever than other relaxation techniques. In my practice, patients like David who ejaculate regularly often report being less angry, more focused, and better able to handle everyday stress. For him, it wasn't about chasing pleasure. It was about restoring balance to his brain chemistry. Benefit 2: Much better sleep. This mix of endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin is an interesting mechanism that helps regulate mood. As those initial feel-good hormones begin to settle, your body releases a hormone that has an incredibly powerful and necessary function for older men. Hormones help David begin to notice that he was sleeping better. For years, he had struggled to fall asleep, often lying awake past midnight. But after adopting his new routine, he was surprised to find himself drifting off more quickly and waking up refreshed. Feeling sleepy after ejaculation isn't all in your head. Your body releases a hormone called prolactin, which acts as a natural sleep aid. Cheryl Kingsburg, PhD, of Case Western Reserve University, explains that prolactin levels can increase by up to 400% after orgasm, creating a natural sedative effect that's superior to many over-the-counter sleep aids. The release of this hormone effectively signals your nervous system to move from a state of excitement to a state of deep relaxation. The combination of prolactin, endorphins, and oxytocin also helps reduce cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. This reduction in cortisol is essential for falling and staying asleep, especially for older men who are often under not only physical, but also mental stress. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Behavior found that 64% of men reported falling asleep faster and more deeply on nights when they ejaculated before bed. David told me, "I feel like I finally have energy during the day because I'm actually resting at night." For him, daily release became a natural medicine for his insomnia. Dear friend, if you feel sympathetic to David's story, please enter 1 below in the comment section to let me know you are still here with me to continue to discover other interesting things. Benefit 3: stronger heart and better blood flow. Another surprising benefit came during David's checkup. His blood pressure was steadier, and he noticed more stamina on his morning walks. What he didn't realize at first was that ejaculation itself was giving his cardiovascular system a workout. Ejaculation really works your heart. Your heart rate increases to 120-160 beats per minute, similar to when you walk briskly or ride a bike. During sexual arousal, your blood vessels dilate and expand. This happens throughout your entire body, not just your genitals. Dr. Graham Jackson, a cardiologist and past president of the Sexual Counseling Association, found that regular sex helps maintain healthy blood pressure and can reduce the risk of heart disease. For men over 50, this is especially important. The American Heart Association says our arteries become stiffer as we age, leading to high blood pressure and heart problems. But regular sex can help counteract this aging process. This is the key connection. The same blood circulation system that keeps your heart healthy also creates erections. I often tell my patients, as David, that good cardiovascular health and good sexual health go hand in hand. And David realized that what was good for his heart was also good for his erections, and both were improving.
This next benefit is backed by one of the largest long-term studies ever conducted on men's health, and it could completely change the way you think about protecting your prostate. Benefit 4: lower prostate cancer risk. One of David's biggest fears was prostate cancer, since it had affected his father. When he learned that daily ejaculation might lower his risk, it gave him extra motivation to continue. Harvard researchers followed more than 31,000 men for nearly 20 years, publishing results in European Urology. They found that men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 20% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated just 4 to 7 times per month. Dr. Jennifer Ryder, the study's lead researcher, explained that ejaculation helps clean out the prostate, clearing away old fluids and cellular waste. Since the prostate produces about 30% of semen, regular emptying supports healthy cell turnover. However, ejaculation is not a guarantee of cancer. Your genes, diet, and lifestyle also matter. But this Harvard study shows that ejaculation also has some protective effects. David understood that ejaculation was not a guarantee against cancer, but he felt empowered, knowing he was actively supporting his prostate health in a natural way. And to have a comfortable and pleasurable masturbation position, you need to maintain physical strength and flexibility. Daily exercises can help you fine-tune that. I also have a video on 7 exercises to help improve erections and sexual function. To learn what they are and really pave the way for healing, check out the link below in the description. Chapter 2: Potential Risks. While David experienced many benefits from daily ejaculation, his journey wasn't without challenges. At first, he was thrilled with the boost in mood, better sleep, and stronger health. But as the weeks went on, he began to notice that the habit, if left unchecked, came with its own potential risks. These risks don't mean daily ejaculation is inherently bad, but they highlight the importance of balance, awareness, and self-control. Risk 1: it can become a compulsion. After a few months, David realized that ejaculation had started to feel less like a choice and more like something he needed to get through the day. If he skipped it, he felt restless and distracted. There's a big difference between a healthy habit and a compulsive behavior. If you enjoy ejaculating every day and it doesn't interfere with your life, that's probably fine. But if you feel like you have to do it every day and it starts to interfere with your work, relationships, or responsibilities, that's a problem. Dr. Eli Coleman of the University of Minnesota, a leading expert on sexual compulsions, explains that compulsive behavior occurs when you lose control. The behavior stops being a choice and becomes something you feel you need to function normally. David admitted to me that he sometimes skipped social invitations just to stay home, and he caught himself thinking about ejaculation during work meetings. This cycle, relief, guilt, then seeking relief again, is exactly how compulsion sets in. If this sounds familiar, consider talking to a therapist who specializes in sexual health. Warning signs include constantly thinking about it while at work, canceling social activities to masturbate, or feeling anxious when you can't do it. For men like David, the real concern often isn't how often they ejaculate, but why. That's what makes daily ejaculation a hidden mental burden if left unaddressed. Risk 2. Using it as emotional escape. At another point in his journey, David noticed he was turning to masturbation whenever he felt lonely, stressed, or sad. It became his go-to emotional escape, and while it worked in the moment, it left him feeling emptier afterwards. Many men use masturbation to cope with stress, anxiety, loneliness, or sadness. The feel-good hormones provide a quick release, making it an easy way to deal with emotions. While these chemicals are natural and healthy, using them to avoid real problems can be harmful in the long run. This creates emotional numbness, says UCLA researcher Rory Reed, PhD. You mask the emotions instead of addressing them. The release feels like relief, but when it wears off, the underlying problems remain. For David, this meant avoiding deeper conversations with his wife and pushing aside stress at work instead of confronting it. Over time, emotional dependency can spill over into other areas. Losing interest in hobbies, withdrawing socially, or struggling in relationships because nothing feels as rewarding as the quick dopamine spike of ejaculation. But emotional dependence isn't the only concern. Daily ejaculation can also have subtle physical effects, particularly on fertility. Risk 3. Decreased sperm quality and quantity. One of David's biggest surprises came when he and his wife started considering having another child. That's when he learned how daily ejaculation could affect fertility. Your body needs time to produce quality sperm. Although sperm production occurs continuously, it takes 48 to 72 hours to fully replenish reserves. When you ejaculate every day, your body doesn't have enough time to reach maximum sperm quantity and quality. Dr. Harry Fish, author of The Male Biological Clock, explains that frequent ejaculations result in lower sperm concentrations per release. The sperm may also be less mature and have reduced motility, meaning they don't swim as effectively. For older men not concerned with fertility, this risk may not matter. But for David and many others who may remarry or undergo fertility treatments, it's critical. Most fertility experts recommend spacing ejaculations 2 to 3 days apart when trying to conceive. Even if fatherhood isn't the goal, this highlights how the body thrives on rhythm and balance. As David learned, overdoing even a healthy behavior can stress the systems meant to protect us. And speaking of balance, there's another side effect of daily ejaculation that often surprises men, one that doesn't directly affect sperm or hormones, but rather your sex drive. Risk 4. Decreased libido over time.
Another challenge David faced was a gradual decline in sexual desire with his partner. He confessed that intimacy started to feel routine and less exciting. Sexual desire isn't only about testosterone, it's also about anticipation, excitement, and novelty. When ejaculation becomes a daily habit, Especially when used to relieve stress or boredom, the brain's reward system adapts. The brain thrives on variety and surprise. When dopamine is triggered the same way every day, the response weakens. Stanford's Anna Lembke, PhD, author of Dopamine Nation, calls this tolerance. What once excited you now feels flat. David noticed this creeping in when sex with his wife felt less appealing than his solo routine. Thankfully, this isn't permanent damage. Taking a break for a few days or weeks, focusing on non-sexual intimacy, exercise, or other dopamine-boosting activities can reset desire. For David, even small breaks rekindled his interest in connection with his wife. Besides reducing libido, premature ejaculation also has a strong impact on performance. Risk 5 contributes to premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction. Perhaps the most frustrating hurdle for David was realizing that his daily habit was training his body for speed. Over time, he found himself climaxing too quickly with his partner, which left him embarrassed and anxious. If you masturbate quickly every day, you're conditioning your body to orgasm fast. This rhythm, repeated daily, becomes ingrained. It's like training for a sprint instead of a marathon. Dr. Ian Kerner, author of She Comes First, warns that this can lead to premature ejaculation during partnered sex because your body adapts to that rhythm. For David, this created a painful cycle: quick finishes, embarrassment, avoidance of intimacy, and more reliance on solo sex where he felt in control. The good news is that the habit can be retrained. Techniques like the stop-start method, mindfulness during masturbation, and open communication with his wife helped David slow down and rebuild confidence. By working through these risks, David learned that the key wasn't simply to ejaculate daily or avoid it. It was about balance, awareness, and intention. Daily release offered incredible benefits, but when paired with self-reflection and moderation, it became a tool for health instead of a trap. Chapter 3: Building a Balanced Habit. From a doctor's perspective, I often emphasize that regular ejaculation is not a hard and fast rule. The issue is not whether you do it every day or not, but whether you control and balance it. When you know how to adjust it properly, men can get the maximum benefits without facing risks. The first thing to do is to set a clear purpose. When ejaculation is associated with a specific reason, such as relaxing after a long day, strengthening emotional bonds, or simply keeping the reproductive system working regularly, it is a conscious choice instead of a compulsive behavior. Being aware of the why will help men not fall into a state of dependence. A good habit cannot stand alone. When combining ejaculation with a healthy lifestyle, a balanced diet with lean protein, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and good fats help stabilize energy, maintain hormones, and protect the heart. In contrast, sugar and processed foods increase the risk of inflammation and long-term health decline. Regular physical activity helps increase testosterone, improve circulation, and reduce the risk of chronic disease. In addition, 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night is a natural tonic that helps the body recover and stabilize the mind. Chronic stress weakens the immune system and reduces testosterone, so relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or light walking play an important role. Conversely, if you ignore this healthy lifestyle, your behavior can easily become a way of avoiding rather than supporting your health. Listening to your body is the third principle. If you notice a decrease in desire or a feeling of dependence, men can take a break for a few days. A short break helps the nervous system regain sensitivity and restore natural interest. In addition, the way you practice also has a big impact. Many men experience premature ejaculation because of the habit of rushing. Focusing on breathing, feeling each stage of excitement, and applying stop-start techniques helps train reflexes, prolong time, and increase control. This is not only a physical exercise, but also a way to practice mindfulness. Another important aspect is communication with your partner. When behavior is shared openly, trust is strengthened and feelings become more attached. Sex is therefore no longer limited to orgasm, but expanded into many other forms of intimacy. Frequency also needs to be adjusted flexibly according to each stage of life. When the goal is to optimize sperm quality for conception, a gap of 2 to 3 days is ideal. When you need to relieve stress, ejaculation more frequently may be appropriate. But when you see signs of decreased interest, taking a break is a wise choice. In short, regular ejaculation is only truly healthy when it is part of a balanced routine. With awareness, reasonable adjustment, and adherence to a scientific lifestyle, men can not only maintain physiological benefits, but also protect mental health and long-term relationships. Conclusion. So, what happens if you ejaculate every day? The answer is not simple because everyone is different. It is important to do an honest self-assessment. Ask yourself these questions. Do you feel in control of this behavior, or is it controlling you? My professional advice is to aim for balance. Remember, sexual health is part of overall health. The goal is not to follow rigid rules, but to find what makes you feel physically and mentally balanced. Whether it is daily, every few days, or weekly, the best frequency is the one that enhances your life, not controls it. If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe to receive updates on evidence-based health strategies. Now I want to hear from you. What surprised you the most? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And I'm Dr. Elizabeth, a urologist with many years of experience in prostate care and men's health. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.